All right then, multi-factor technical models. It sounds a bit spreadsheety, Morgan. A little bit suit and tie for my liking, you know?
Mate, it's called building a proper system.
Right.
It's the difference between being a professional trader and just being exit liquidity. This isn't about, chucking your mortgage on a coin with a cat on it and praying for 100x. This is how you build an actual repeatable edge.
Oi, my cat coins are doing a lot better than your dusty old S&P 500, bruv. But all right, go on then, Professor. Break it down for the degens. What is this dark art?
It's actually dead simple in principle.
Okay.
Instead of using just one tool like an RSI to tell you when to buy, you use a whole squad of them. Think of it like you're a scout building a Premier League team.
Okay. An analogy I can get behind.
I'm listening. You wouldn't just sign 11 strikers, would you? Be a bit mental. You need defenders, you need creative midfielders, you need a keeper with safe hands. In trading, these are your factors. You've got your momentum factor.
Right.
That's your star striker who just can't stop scoring.
The Haaland of indicators. Got it.
Exactly. Then you've got your value factor, the massively underrated defensive midfielder you picked up for a bargain,
Yeah.
who bosses the whole pitch. And your quality factor, that's your veteran centre-back.
Okay.
Confident, low debt, stable earnings, never makes a mistake. You combine their strengths to build a winning team.
That makes sense. But in my world, the crypto world, the factors are different. I'm not looking at a company's balance sheet, fam. I'm looking at the blockchain itself. My quality factor is like on-chain data, active addresses, transaction volume, gas fees. That tells me if the network's buzzing or if it's a ghost town. It's real-time, fundamental data.
And that's a massive edge.
Yeah.
It's the same logic, just a different data set. It's like you can see the turnstiles clicking in real time.
But the big question is, how do you combine them? The most basic way, what the CMT nerds call a heuristic model, is to just score each asset on your factors, add it all up, and buy the one with the highest score. So a score for Twitter hype, a score for on-chain activity, bung them together and ape in. Sounds a bit crude.
It is, and it's risky. The smarter way, the risk-based approach, is where you, the manager, decide on the strategy.
Okay.
You might look at the market and say, right, things are trending hard. I want to bet on momentum right now. So you tell your model to put more weight on your momentum factors. You're setting the team's style of play.
Ah, I see. So in a crypto bull run, I'd tell my model to heavily weigh factors like social sentiment and funding rates.
Exactly.
But when the market's looking choppy, I pivot. I tell it to focus on projects with genuine user growth and low token inflation.
Right.
I'm the gaffer, telling the machine how to attack.
You've got it. You're defining where your alpha comes from. So what are your top tier factors then? Don't tell me it's just some geezer on X with a Bored Ape profile picture.
Don't knock it till you've backtested it. But for real, I was reading this mad paper on a systematic model for Ethereum.
Oh yeah?
They blended standard TA stuff like MACD with on-chain data and sentiment scraped from X.
Okay, now that's interesting. They're bridging our two worlds. But I'm always wary of sentiment. It sounds flimsy.
That's what I thought, but here's the wild part.
Go on.
They did a proper analysis to see which factors had the most predictive power. Guess what was number one? With a bullet.
Surely something tangible like gas usage.
Nope. Social sentiment. The collective vibe from crypto Twitter was the single biggest predictor of short-term returns. It beat everything. The memes are the fundamentals, mate.
Get out of here. That's actually terrifying. It confirms my suspicion that your market is 90% vibes and 10% tech. My world of Forex and stocks is a bit more anchored. We're looking at interest rate differentials, inflation data, things that move a bit slower than a meme.
You say sane, I say slow. That ETH model poured a 97% annualized return in its backtest.
Wow.
Right?
But what was the max drawdown? It's all high fives and Lambos on the way up.
Yeah.
But how much did it lose when the market turned?
It was 22%, which for crypto is basically a flat day. But you're right, it proves there's no holy grail. Which brings us to the bit everyone ignores: backtesting. Proving the damn thing actually works without just lying to yourself.
This is where 99% of retail traders fail. They commit the sin of overfitting. They build a model that would have perfectly traded last year's market. It looks beautiful. Then they try it on the live market and it bleeds money because this year isn't the same as last year.
It's like giving your model the exam paper the day before the test. Of course it's going to ace it. In crypto, that's a fatal mistake. The entire meta can flip in a month. Wow. Your Solana season model is toast when AI coin season kicks off. You have to be ruthless.
You have to test it on data it's never seen. You have to hammer it with transaction fees and slippage in the simulation.
Right.
You're not trying to prove it works. You're trying to prove it doesn't work. Only if you can't break it do you have something real.
And even then, that's just the start line. The model is just a signal generator. It says, buy this now.
Right.
It doesn't say how much or when to run for the hills. That's the real alpha: position sizing and risk management.
100%. You could have the world's best model, but if you go all in on one trade and get it wrong, you're out. Game over. A good model should influence your position sizing. Is it a high conviction signal in a low volatility environment? Okay, maybe a 2% position. Is it a sketchy signal in a choppy market? Maybe 0.5%.
In crypto, that thinking is the only thing that keeps you alive. Volatility is a given. You can't be slinging 10% of your portfolio on a single altcoin.
No.
You'd be a nervous wreck. My risk model is simple: survive.
Yeah.
Stay at the table long enough for my edge to play out over hundreds of trades.
So let's wrap it up for the people. Building a multi-factor model isn't about finding one magic indicator. It's about building a team of them that work together.
You need to pick factors that are native to your market. For me, that's on-chain data.
Yep. Then you have to be the manager. Decide on a strategy and tell your model how to weight those factors. Don't just blindly give them all an equal say.
Next, backtest it with the honesty of a saint. Assume it's a fraud until proven otherwise. Try to break it.
And finally, remember the model is just one part of the puzzle. It generates trade ideas.
Right.
You, the trader, manage the risk and position size. That is the skill.
Sorted. It's less about being a genius and more about being a disciplined, systematic builder. Right, enough of the free wisdom. If you lot want to get in on the action, talk trades, and take the mickey out of Morgan's boomer charts, the link to our private chat group is down in the description. Hop in and say hello. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. If you had to build a simple two-factor model for your favorite asset, what would those two factors be and why? Drop your answers in the comments below. We'll read the best ones out next week. Cheers, everyone.